Season finale time of Alice in Borderland Season 2 just around the corner. And it's episode 8 of Season 1. And this one is just called Episode 8, as it's kind of just been the theme throughout this show. We can't really be arsed coming up with episode titles, so we'll just call it by the episode 8, which I don't really like. I like when I'm doing my reviews, I like putting the titles in. I think it looks neat. But they can't do it with this show, can we?
No.
We can't.
We can put the 1 times 08 in, but that's about as good as it gets.
That's as good as it gets. But we kick off this episode with
a flashback.
God damn, and this show,
I think
especially
this show,
the second half of the season,
utilises flashbacks very well.
yes, I think there's shows
when I
that
see
don't.
you see flashbacks, they always seem important, or they add to the character, or they they explain someone's story. I mean, there's a lot of shows where you watch flashbacks and then they literally offer fuck all.
No, the worst show for that, Lost.
Lost bad.
No, Lost has very important flashbacks, but at the same time, there's ones where like someone could just be going to the shop to buy a packet of crisps, and why do I need to see that? I don't know.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, the flashback is with Momoka and her friend.
Yeah, they're
Ashai.
basically wandering through the cities of Tokyo. They've got a video camera. They go down into the subway, and then it cuts. We don't really see.
Yeah, we don't really get to see the rest of what is happening. Then back in current time, Arisu confronts Agane, who tells the rest of the group that he's the witch. But he doesn't really believe him. He says that it's not his. But Arisu.
Confronting Big.
Well, hold on. If you second, have you ever noticed if you say you can kind of say it in the same way as they say Gambo, Arisu,
Agane!
No,
Mamuka.
I'm getting see all these Asian shows, man. I used to think, I still think anime's pish. This isn't anime.
Pish.
This is good shit. This is good shows.
This is real life shit. But basically,
Give me all this Asian crap over The Walking Dead. That's for sure.
Arisu basically calls out Yugani about what went down with Hatter.
He says that when Agane's telling everyone that he's the witch, and Arusi's like, "No, your victim wasn't Momoka. It was Hatter." And then we go on and we get more flashbacks between Hatter and the Goonie. We learn that they were best friends.
Buying hats.
Yeah, Hatter's dad
Is that
owned
why he's called Hat?
Hatter's dad owned a hat store, so maybe that's why he got the name Hatter. Then we also got flashbacks that showed how Aguni actually killed Hatter, and that Hatter pointed the gun at him first. Hatter accusing Aguni of being a traitor because Aguni was kind of sick of following his bullshit. Hatter kind of convinced everybody and himself that they were living in some sort of paradise, when in reality it's more like a freak show kind of. It's like this is a nightmare. It's not like this isn't like a holiday camp or something. You know what I mean? This is not a good place. But Hatter kind of had everybody feeling as if they were living their best life. Well, you can kind of see what he's going for.
But that's what I don't get.
He's trying to keep morale up.
Exactly.
But I think Aguni was kind of like, no, here you're living in a fantasy land. You're misleading these people.
But see, I get it, right? He kills Hatter, right? And he's like, right, he's living in a fantasy land. You need to live in the real world, right? But does that really justify Yugani then going on a killing spree and eliminating like 90% of the occupants?
No, maybe not. Yeah, so then Hatter basically says, well, here, if you think it's a fantasy land, then you're against me, and that makes you a traitor. So Hatter points his gun at Agani. Agani drops to the floor,
Bang, good
puts
night.
a bullet in Hatter. Hatter falls down. He's obviously upset because it's his best friend. He goes and retrieves Hatter's gun to find the gun being empty.
God damn it, son of a bitch!
He's even more upset, so I guess what we're getting here is that Hatter kind of had enough. And if you look back at the episode where he goes to play his game, you could maybe see signs that Hatter was kind of like
There
checking
was
out,
foreshadowing because he was partying. He wasn't putting himself in the best frame of mind for whatever game.
Yeah, it's as if he had no interest in playing a game and he was just trying to live maybe his last night on the internet. Well, that's obviously what it was. Then we get back into the present day again, and Ugani's telling Arisu that you don't know shit. He tries to beat the crap out of him. You've got a lot of people trying to get him off. That doesn't seem to happen. He's still beating the crap out of Arusi. People think that he is the witch. People try and take Aguni down. It's just not happening. Aguni overbooked here big time. I mean,
yeah,
he looks like a pretty big physical dude for an Asian man, right? That's not racist, that's just common fact that Asians don't.
No, but what about the military corps that just had all the guns? Or they just fucking, nah, we just won't shoot them.
Yeah, so they keep fighting, and Arusi tries to reason with Agani, and it seems to work. He seems to convince him that he is not the witch because Arusi knows who the witch is. Then Arusi seems to side with Agani and says, Hatter was kind of losing control, and you didn't want to kill your friend, and you had to kind of deal, which it kind of at the same time. I mean, that's kind of what the flashbacks it shows, but. I mean, how would Arusi know this? It's not like he's telepathic or he can read minds.
I know. Like...
I mean, it's cool. I mean, we know what happened, but Arisu doesn't know
No, but
that.
it's like, how does he figure this out like that? But like the light bulb game, which was pretty simple, think of it. It took him, like a pretty decent amount of time to figure that out.
But Arisu seems to fucking... I know he's smart, like, but I mean, he seems to... I mean, how can he know exactly what went down?
But guys, I have a bone to pick with this, right? Agani here... Agani... I don't know. I feel like this was done like an anime boss battle where he was just getting took. No one could bring him. It was stupid. Like we seen in episode 2 that him and Haribe, 2-on-1 against the horseface guy, struggled. So who's the fuck's the horseface guy? The immortal Hulk Hogan, Stevie Seagal, Claude Van Damme. Who is horseface?
Yep. So I don't know.
Because here it's literally about 50-on-1. I'm not overexcited. He even gets fucking in a few minutes time he's getting fucking sprayed at with a mini Uzi and he just fucking walks off like it's a shot. This ain't being shot. Oh, shot, give me a shot.
But then when things appear to calm down, Naragi comes out of nowhere. We thought this guy was dead. He was set on fire on the last episode. He fell off a building. We thought he was dead. He's back. He's got his fucking t-shirts wrapped around his head. How can he even fucking see?
I don't know.
He starts like firing into everybody. He's intent on killing everybody there. But then Aguni, I guess, just decides to, turn face, I guess, and charges him down, takes about 4 bullets in the process, runs into him, spears him, lifts him up on his shoulders, and runs off down into the corridor. And that's the last we see of Agani.
Was this not a bit goofy? Like
it was, like, it's kind of funny when you think about it, but like, I mean, come on, you got shot 4 times, lifted this guy up and just fucking bolted into the smoke. It's like, what the fuck was
No, but
this?
this is a really retarded face turn because like he just literally killed 90% of the people here, and then what he saves her. That's all's forgiven. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, I'm not really buying it. I'm not feeling it.
Ugani, I guess, blamed these people for corrupting Hatter, but it's not the other way around. It's Hatter not like corrupting these people.
Exactly.
I mean, he was like misleading these people and playing with their minds and stuff like that. It's like psychologically fucking lying to these people and fucking them up. At this stage,
I don't know, but like
we don't even know if the whole collect the cards and go back. I mean, Aguni said that's bullshit. Hatter said that's what happens. Aguni says that's not even true in the flashback. He says, why are you telling these people, feeding them lies about collecting the cards when you go home? Yeah, the guy that looks transgender but isn't transgender, just hangs around with the transgender, collects the final card, the 10 of hearts, after Momoko's body is thrown into the bonfire and they win the game. So he's got all the cards now. Whether this means anything, according to Hatter, this means they can go home. According to Aguni, having the cards means absolutely jack shit. So we don't really know at this stage, but they all leave the beach. The beach is burning down. We're supposed to, I don't know.
Your wee weirdo in the basement. He's just laughing.
He's gonna die. I mean, I have to assume he's dead. Like he's probably just gonna. He could have got up and tried to make an escape, but he's just kind of left there. We don't know what's happened to Aguni or Naragi. Then the people that were in the military corps, one of them feels guilty. He goes to like shoot himself and he's ran out of bullets. I think all the other members were kind of looking at him like, "Here, you just killed all those people. How dare you do that?" And then that seems to be it. That finishes, and then we move into the next day.
Yes, we skip into the next day where we see Arisu and Usagi. They watch several videos basically recorded from Mamoku and Ase, who had died during the game. And then it basically reveals here of what actually happened when
After
they went down into the
tunnel.
subway. Yes, they found this like secret passageway essentially. Well, it's like on the subway tunnels. They go down and it's revealed where they run into the dealers. And these are the people who organize games to extend their visas, and then they're underground with actually the game masters as well.
Yes, no, Ashi and Momoka are the dealers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they go down. That's where the dealers go down and get their things.
So he said they went down and see met dealers. I think.
Yeah, but there's dealers down there with the
They
game masters.
look like game masters to me.
Aye, but the dealers were down there.
Anyway, fuck it, right? They go down underground. There's a bunch of people watching all the games, a bunch of sick bastards watching all the games. They're getting off on it, I guess. Mamoko and Ashi do not like being dealers. I guess it's sooner or later, their conscience gets to them. And that's pretty much it. So we see the big thing, which obviously Arisu and Usagi then go and attempt to, they're going to try and track that building down. Which when they do, they come across
all the bodies.
Chiasa and Kuna, who
yeah.
also got up there. Chiasa says, well, I'm surprised it took you so long.
Well, technically they actually did discover the bodies all before these two walked in. So I was right there. They're putting that out there.
Then they go. They open the door. They go down the stairs. They get into where the big game thing was, where the game masters are, and they're all dead. So I think what we're led to believe here is, I could be wrong, but I think because they collected all the cards, all the game masters died.
Yeah.
So, but it's a different game. I don't know how it works, but the game masters died. They're all dead because all the cards were collected.
And is it just a Tokyo thing? I mean, it's...
And it is discovered that the game masters were actually players, and they're like players, but their lives are on the line. But
their game is essentially
their game is for you to not complete your game.
But it's kind of like they don't really have a
say in it. Like they don't really have a.
It's not like they're controlling the games.
No, they're just watching and pray that you don't complete it. Unless there was something hidden. But
that's what gets me. Surely as soon as they realised, because they've got cameras everywhere, oh fuck, this Hatter guy, he's fucking storing all these cards in this thing. We need to go over there and store him it.
You think so? It didn't happen. And then a woman appears on the screen. We learn her name to be Mira, and she says, the games have just yet to begin. She thanks everybody for playing. A bit psychotic here. I mean, she was only on screen for about a minute, but seemed a pretty good character.
Hello, the face cards.
Seemed a bit freaky, psychotic, bit sinister. And she says, "Yep, you collect all the cards, but now there's new cards and new games to play." And then we cut to the fucking Tokyo or whatever, and it's like all these cards are flying up in the air. You got the King of Hearts, you got the Jack of Diamonds, the Queen of Spades, and all that shit. And now there's new cards to collect. And just when the players had thought they'd done it all, now they need to go and collect all the face cards, which will be harder than anything that they've done previously.
I'm expecting some mad-ass games, guys, in Season 2, and it set up Season 2 pretty good. I feel like this definitely set up a Season 2, like we talked about. Squid Game didn't really, but it left the door open, slightly ajar, but the door here is fully open.
The door's fully open. In my opinion, they definitely sacrificed the last episode to set up a Season 2.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't like it, but I think they kind of got all the action sorted in the first half of it.
That's how you know when they do that.
Yeah, which is good. It's good writing, I mean, I think I like that rather than just, you get to the last, 30 seconds and, oh, by the way, look at that, oh, Season 2.
Very controversial, guys, but I think I prefer this to Squid Game.
It's good. I'd say at times it's a bit goofy. I don't think Squid Games are supposed to be goofy, but I think Squid Games does come across goofy as well with the cat. I mean, you've got...
and the dubbing in this is so much better.
It's like, oh, well, we're like an army camp. No, I mean, you're fighting for your fucking lives here. This isn't a wee army camp where you're playing pretend soldiers, you know what I mean? You literally watched half the people die in green light, red light. This isn't a,
red light, green light.
No, this isn't, you know what I mean? It's not like army camp, like, oh, you're playing pretend.
Yeah, it's a bit stupid. And also, it's like, with Squid Game, there's fuck all characters left for a Season 2. And where's it going in Season 3? Because you're going to have to kill some people in Season 2.
But if you want to see the Squid Game reviews, go check them out. They're on the channel. But this is it, guys. This is Alice in Borderland episode 8. It's weird. Like, I mean, I know you can say that the second half kind of just, they slowed down the pace a lot and it was more like suspense and set up the Season 2. But I actually really enjoyed this episode. I would give this an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, I'll give it an 8.
I was at 8.25.
But what are we giving the season as a whole, though? I'll give the season as a whole, I'll give it a...
I think did I give Squid Game a 7 out of 10, or did I give it an 8 out of 10?
I gotta give it a 7. I'll give this a 7.5.
I'll give this a... I'm gonna give this an 8.
Damn, there you go. I
mean, the only thing I didn't like is...
some of the logic doesn't make sense.
I feel like after the episode, it doesn't build. I guess there's not that many characters to get connected to get like attached to. I mean, it does literally feel like a different show in my opinion. Like, episode 3 kills off 75% of the main cast of 4, and then episode 4 doesn't really do that much apart from bringing.
It's like a standalone.
It brings in Usagi.
Usagi.
But then you've just got another 3 characters that are literally just there to get
And we already
killed.
seen Usagi in episode 2. You know what I mean? So.
And then when you get to episode 5, it gives you a new cast of characters. So it's kind of weird. I mean, it felt like this season, it definitely felt like two. You could split this in half, 100%.
Well, definitely.
Which, so like, I feel like, I think by the time you got to episode 5, like, you didn't really care a lot about the other characters because they were only in 4 episodes. But then again, that's a lie, because I mean, I felt like when Hatter dies, you're gutted, even though he's only in 1 episode. I felt like he was the star of the show.
Yeah.
So I will see what happens. I mean,
And it was good to see him back in flashbacks.
Yeah, will he be in flashbacks in season 2? Honestly, I don't really see the point. I mean, it could be, but if
And I feel like at this stage, if they bring back his 2 pals any more times, it's just like, why? They're kind of like, who gives a fuck at this stage?
Yeah, no, I think his 2 friends of Chota and
Haribe.
Haribe have kind of served their purpose. But I mean, another thing I would have kind of liked Haribe to been there. I think I really enjoyed the character, but it wasn't to be. Maybe they could have did it in episode 3 where one of them sacrificed himself, but I guess then that wouldn't have had the same effect on Arisu as watching his 2 friends get their head fucking blown off. So there you go, guys. But overall recommend this. Definitely a good show, better than most shows out there. I'd give season 1 an 8 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 7.5. Season 2 just around the corner. Looking forward to it. I'm on the face cards.
And by around the corner, we mean early next year.
Really?
Or late 2022.
Seriously?
Aye.
Well, we'll catch your ass down the road.